And we 2 days away from the Big Meech concert. Get your tickets right now. Make sure everybody flying to the city for this. It's gonna be.
Big Meech thought teaming up with Rick Ross would mark a powerful comeback, but reality turned out far harsher than he imagined. In an industry where loyalty is often preached but rarely practiced, he's learning just how fragile alliances can be. After walking out of prison expecting support and new opportunities, Meech chose Ross over 50 Cent, a decision that instantly sparked tension and backlash. At first, Ross seemed all in, flooding Meech with promises of rebuilding his empire and restoring his influence. He even teased major deals that could have put Meech back in the spotlight. But when the partnership fell apart and the money vanished, Ross quickly changed course, abandoning Meech and reigniting his ties with the very rival he once claimed to despise, 50 Cent.
2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery. Also,
the sudden reversal left Meech in a position he never anticipated, isolated, betrayed, and stripped of the strategic support he thought was secure. The message is undeniable. In the ruthless world of hip-hop and entertainment, power moves are temporary, and loyalty is often the first casualty in the pursuit of money and influence. Now, Meech stands alone, facing a cold truth. Alliances are purely transactional, and betrayal can come from those closest to you. The real question is, why did Rick Ross make such a drastic turn? And is 50 Cent quietly pulling the strings behind the scenes, reclaiming control of the BMF story piece by piece? The deeper you look, the more layered and tangled this saga becomes. What goes around truly comes around, and Big Meech is learning that in the most public and unforgiving way imaginable. After decades behind bars, Meech pictured his return as a triumphant re-entry into the culture that once worshipped him. Instead, he's trapped between two powerful forces, one he betrayed, and one who betrayed him.
I believe a stand-up dude doing his time would suddenly say, I don't want to be here no more. I'm gonna become a rat.
The man Meech pushed away, 50 Cent, continues to elevate the BMF brand, turning it into a powerful entertainment empire. Meanwhile, the man he turned to for support, Rick Ross, has vanished from sight, behaving as if their partnership never existed. But here's the ironic twist. While Ross may have played the role of a snake, whispering in Meech's ear and fueling his rift with 50, his own scheme may have completely backfired. In exposing how quickly Meech could turn on the very person who revived his legacy and kept his name alive through the BMF series, Ross may have unintentionally revealed Meech's true character for all to see.
Never folded, never told, never will. Death before.
The loyalty that once defined Meech's image now looks uncertain, hinting that betrayal may have been inevitable all along. Word on the streets says Meech is deep in damage control, trying to piece together why his highly publicized legacy concert fell apart and why all support has suddenly vanished. With nowhere left to turn, he's reportedly placing the blame squarely on Ross, the man who promised him the world, only to disappear when everything collapsed. The truth is, once you peel back the layers, it becomes clear that Meech was never Ross's priority. He was a pawn, a calculated move to embarrass 50 Cent, disrupt alliances, and position Ross to claim a piece of the BMF legacy for himself.
BMF is BMF, but not because of 50, it's because of Big Meech, right? That's his story, that's his life, right? So I don't think 50 doing him no favors. They both profiting, right? I don't mean I owe you no loyalty. I mean I can't go get money elsewhere, right? If more money get presented to me, right, I'm gonna go get me a bag. I just did 20 years in prison, right? I'm not gonna let nobody stop no bags come in because of y'all beef, bro.
So, BMF will always be BMF. But not because of 50. It's because of Big Meech. That's his story, his legacy, his life. From Meech's perspective, 50 didn't do him any favors. They both gained from the partnership. Loyalty, in his eyes, doesn't mean lifelong servitude. It means mutual benefit. And after serving 20 years in prison, Meech made it clear he wouldn't let anyone's beef block his opportunity to secure a bag. But now, with that plan crumbling and his image taking a massive hit, Meech finds himself more isolated and vulnerable than ever. Rick Ross once had grand ambitions, teasing a big-budget BMF movie meant to outshine 50 Cent's hit series. Yet when the heat turned up and chaos took over, Ross disappeared, leaving Meech stranded and betrayed. Now, Meech is trying to frame himself as the victim. But the harsh truth is, he scripted his own downfall. In the unforgiving world of street politics, switching sides for a paycheck is a sin that's rarely forgiven, and Meech is learning that lesson the hard way. The deeper question is how far this betrayal truly runs, and whether 50 Cent is quietly enjoying every second of it. Word on the street is that 50 may have subtly played a role in derailing Meech's much-hyped Welcome Back concert. But many believe he didn't even need to interfere. Meech's own actions did the damage, from lingering snitching rumors to the desperate tone surrounding the event. The signs were clear. Major artists like Lil Baby, Skill, and Zoe reportedly backed out before the concert even began, draining the lineup and killing the buzz. Then, just 2 hours before showtime, the Ameris Bank Arena abruptly cancelled the event, citing unforeseen circumstances and promising refunds. No warning. No explanation. Just public humiliation. Another brutal hit to Meech's reputation. At this point, 50 doesn't even have to lift a finger. His longtime rival is collapsing under the weight of his own decisions, proving that sometimes the best revenge is simply watching your enemies destroy themselves. And as the chaos unfolds, one man watches it all play out exactly as he predicted: 50 Cent.
Back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business.
Long before the Welcome Home concert was announced, 50 Cent predicted it would never happen. When the event was eventually cancelled, he capitalized on the failure with signature sarcasm and confidence. Posting the cancelled flyer online, he mocked the situation with witty captions, turning Meech's downfall into his own victory lap. The concert, once hyped as a major cultural event, collapsed under pressure, leaving Big Meech humiliated and exposed. 50's social media jabs, including fake apologies and sly reposts, made it clear he was in full control of the narrative. In the end, 50 Cent didn't just win the moment. He dominated the storyline, proving once again that he's always 2 steps ahead, playing a game no one else can match.
But I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film.
Big Meech's giant Welcome Home concert
I told you it
was
gonna get
canceled.
What'd I tell you?
The bill was
What
insane.
did I say?
The list.
While Big Meech struggles to understand how everything fell apart, 50 Cent is already several steps ahead, calmly watching the chaos unfold exactly as he anticipated. Meech became so focused on outmaneuvering the very people who helped build his legacy that he failed to see he was being used as a pawn. Rick Ross lured him into a losing position, 50 stepped back without consequence, and now Meech is left isolated. No concert, no allies, and no one willing to repair the damage. But the collapse goes far beyond a failed event. With his reputation damaged and his circle shrinking, Meech is facing the harsh reality that his once powerful support system has disintegrated. The loyalty from 50 is gone, the BMF brand is weakening, and the financial foundation that once sustained everything is crumbling. The fallout has even reached the next generation. Lil Meech, once viewed as the heir to the BMF empire, has reportedly lost his role after BMF Season 4 was cancelled. To make matters worse, 50 Cent exposed private text messages between them, turning their fractured relationship into a public spectacle. In those messages, Lil Meech tried appealing to 50's loyalty, claiming he would give the shirt off his back for him, while defending his father's connection to Rick Ross and admitting Ross had been helping with bills. What was meant to show respect only deepened the humiliation, exposing the broken trust and signaling the collapse of the empire Big Meech once ruled.
What up, though, boss of all bosses? And today I'm coming to tell all my supporters, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, wherever you got, you trying to make it go up.
It's become painfully clear that the relationship between 50 Cent and the BMF family has completely fractured, leaving the once powerful brand on life support. What was once a story of dominance and loyalty has now turned into a cautionary tale about betrayal, manipulation, and the cost of turning your back on the wrong ally. The leaked text messages between Lil Meech and 50 paint a devastating picture of the fallout, Lil Meech pleading for understanding while unknowingly exposing how deep Rick Ross's influence has grown. The revelation that Ross has been quietly funding Big Meech's bills while BMF remains on pause confirmed what many suspected. Ross has embedded himself deep within the chaos, pulling strings and widening the divide between Meech and 50. His financial control has turned an already fragile situation into a strategic power play, leaving Big Meech dependent and 50 further removed from the legacy he helped elevate. Even figures within the industry have weighed in. The game mocked Lil Meech for begging 50 instead of standing firm with his father and the BMF legacy, highlighting just how public the internal cracks have become. What was once viewed as a formidable street empire has devolved into a spectacle of betrayal and ego. Big Meech, once untouchable, now appears as a pawn in a game he no longer controls. With Ross holding the money and 50 observing every move from a position of power, This is no longer about rumors or cancelled concerts. It's about control, perception, and legacy. And perhaps the most painful truth is that Lil Meech, once expected to carry the torch, has become part of the downfall. Instead of defending the empire that gave him everything, he's caught between two powerful forces manipulating the narrative for their own gain. What should have been a victorious comeback for the BMF name has become a public unraveling, all under 50 Cent's watchful eye. Now, 50 has shifted his focus from business to the personal, calling out Big Meech's failures as a father and questioning his leadership. He reminded the public that he was the one who invested in Lil Meech's acting career, paying for his training, opening doors in Hollywood, and building the platform that made him a star. In contrast, 50 accused Meech of coming home acting like the Black Pablo Escobar instead of helping his son build a stable future. What began as a rap feud has evolved into a multi-layered betrayal filled with resentment, humiliation, and deep personal tension. The rekindled rivalry with Rick Ross only fuels the fire. A feud that's been simmering since 2008, involving diss tracks, legal wars, and a $57 million lawsuit. Ross's recent taunts about 50's finances reignited old wounds, but history has proven 50 never forgets disrespect. With voices like Gene Deal now questioning Big Meech's loyalty and integrity, the situation has escalated far beyond personal grudges. And now, the stakes are higher than ever. Reports suggest that the BMF TV series, once a cornerstone of 50's $150 million Starz deal, may be approaching its final season as the drama surrounding the real-life BMF legacy spirals out of control. What began as a celebration of power and loyalty has turned into a war for control, and 50 Cent, once again, seems to be the one holding all the cards. For most people, walking away from that kind of money would be unthinkable. But for 50 Cent, the message is simple: no betrayal goes unanswered. He's built his empire on long-term strategy, patience, and precision, and has never been afraid to burn bridges to make a point. If he built an empire once, he knows he can do it again, which is exactly why betrayal is something he never forgives. Once someone crosses that line, there's no turning back. This is where the Big Meech situation grows darker. The rumors of snitching that 50 brought to light weren't his invention. They've been echoing through the streets for years. At the center of those whispers is Tammy Cowens, a former associate of Big Meech who was allegedly tied to federal authorities. Reports suggest Tammy played a key role in helping Meech negotiate a reduced prison sentence, but in cases of that scale, no one walks free without giving something up. According to multiple claims, what Meech gave up might have been one of his closest allies, Dion Cuffey Gatling, a longtime friend and business partner. Cuffey's daughter, Tamara Gatling, has publicly accused Big Meech of setting her father up, claiming the betrayal began when Meech pitched him a supposed BMF movie deal in 2011. That opportunity, she says, was part of a setup that led to Cuffey's downfall and arrest. Once discovery documents surfaced, they revealed that CS1, the confidential informant in the case, was none other than Tammy Cowens, who, at the time, held Meech's power of attorney and controlled the rights to his life story. What shocked many was that Tammy's role didn't appear to be independent. It looked calculated. People close to the case believe she acted with Meech's full knowledge, if not his direct approval. When confronted by the Gatling family, Meech brushed off the accusations as a misunderstanding, but as evidence piled up, the truth became harder to ignore. The allegations have severely damaged his reputation, painting him as a man who may have traded loyalty for freedom. The ultimate betrayal in both street and business culture. And in 50 Cent's world, that's a sin that never goes unpunished. Now, as the smoke clears, Meech's empire is collapsing from within. The people he once trusted have turned against him. Rick Ross, who once vowed to help restore his name, is suddenly cozying back up to 50 Cent. Lil Meech, the heir to the BMF legacy, has been reduced to doing small-time promo work to stay relevant. What was once a symbol of power, loyalty, and influence now lies in ruins, a fractured brand crumbling under its own weight. The fall of BMF is more than a feud. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when pride and betrayal replace loyalty and discipline. Maybe Big Meech doomed himself by turning his back on the man who kept his name alive while he was locked up. Or maybe 50 Cent is simply exposing a truth that's been buried under years of myth and street legend. Either way, this saga has forever changed how the industry sees BMF, and it's far from over. So what do you think? Did Big Meech seal his own fate by switching sides? Or is 50 just revealing a reality that's been hiding in plain sight? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dive breakdowns. This drama is just getting started, and the next chapter promises to be even wilder.